The first thing we set about doing was designing the accountability, because we knew that in terms of making sure that people really felt accountable and responsible for GDPR, we had to go to the very top and then work out how we were going to do that across the different layers. And the other critical choice we made early on was to split that responsibility into the various different data sets. So we did the discovery work to work out what we've got, where it is, etc. But then we split it into the customer data set, the partner, supplier, finance, and pension data sets. And that was predominantly where all of our data resided. And what we wanted to ensure was from the board all the way down, that accountability and responsibility was felt. So once we'd identified those senior divisional owners, the hardest part was then getting the business to take the, if you like, the collective responsibility for implementing GDPR across their work stream and across their parts of the business. And bear in mind that John Lewis is also part of a grocery chain as well called Waitrose. So we've got quite a different contrast. We sell, apples and oranges through to fridges and washing machines. So quite a diverse set of selling skills and therefore very different audience types. And the way that people think about responsibility themselves means that we had to tailor our messaging very uniquely to that particular audience type. And this really helped. By understanding which set we were going after, and therefore what types of audience we were going after, we were able to really tailor those messages. The other thing that we did, which was fundamental, was we started to a new role. We created this new role called data stewards. And what that did was that enabled us to then have a go-to person, both from the sponsor at the very top, at the leadership level, all the way down to the shop floor, literally down to the shop floor. We also implemented, we have 160 champions. And bear in mind, that's split across 400 shops. So not one champion for every shop, but some of the shops are small convenience stores, whereas the majority of them are large shops. So that really helped us take this whole culture change, this behavioural change, through from the board all the way down. So that's the first message that I wanted to land today, this morning, that from the entire outset, we knew that what we had to do was change the hearts and minds and the behaviour of our people in order to make this a success. The way that we did that was, as I said, tailoring those messages. So we did a series of road shows. So we would go out to the regional distribution centres. We'd go out to, we have a huge campus down in Bracknell on the outskirts of London. And we also started to populate our website. And that's really critical because you can put up a static site with find out all the information, all the policies, etc., but getting people to participate and engage. We ran a series of competitions to win iPads and things like that. So we started using every possible channel available to us to try and help land those messages across all 85,000. We also did, for the first time, some podcasts, which was good fun, actually. That was just simply someone sat there interviewing me, recording it, and then uploading it. But they were hugely popular. We created a series of videos about the rights so that our staff could understand if they were asked from a customer in one of those shops about the right to be forgotten or the right to restrict processing, etc., they would be able to understand it and not give a complicated answer, but at least be able to give enough of an answer to give confidence to our customers that we knew what we were doing, and importantly, we took the responsibility of handling that data appropriately. Yeah? So we also started to push out information via various different posters. So we used the traditional way of doing it. And sending letters to our partners to explain what the journey that we were going on and how we were getting there. And I'm in the fortunate position to report to the CFO. Well, it's both good and bad, because it means that the CFO scrutinises every penny that you spend on marketing and advertising. But I managed to squeeze out of him £500,000 for this campaign, which sounds a lot, but in the grand scheme of the changes that were being applied across the partnership, it was a relatively small amount of cost. Interestingly, and I'll come on to this in the next slide, we started to be able to get feedback from our staff and from our customers. So one of the campaigns that we did was to start to put by the till a little takeaway leaflet. I don't know if any of you have seen it, if you shop at Waitrose or John Lewis, so that our customers could take away and look at something in paper, picking up on Richard's point, you know, about just our customer profile is also of a certain age, mature age, and we wanted to make sure that we tailored our messaging to that age group. There's also a high level of trust associated with our brand. So I think we were voted the UK's most trusted brand, and have been running in that status for quite a number of years. That's brilliant and fantastic because we have very loyal customers. The flip side of that is the expectations are incredibly high. And therefore, unfortunately, there's only one way to go if you have a problem. And we, like every other organisation, have challenges and problems. We have the biggest risk that we carry is our people. We still, you know, when you've got 85,000 members of staff, then they tend to send emails to the wrong person, or they send attachments, or they fall for phishing techniques, etc. So we're still vulnerable, just like any other organisation. So that's why I said this is an ongoing journey. You know, we've set up all of the foundational steps, which I'll come on to, but the journey of behavioural change will take years. And this is what I keep reminding our board.